Alright, so in this video I'm going to be cutting a bunch of templates for the AR-15 Magwell, some for customers that placed orders and some for an upcoming gun show. So I wanted to show you this picture here of the rifle just so you know where I'm working at. It's right here in the Magwell upper receiver. It's on the right hand side. Okay, so over here, now this is my template that I use, and I've got this carbon fiber background here just for looks. I've got, if you can see here, I've already got my cut contour line, and I've already got my bleed section on the outside. I've cut these before where there's just a little bit of white, and instead of fighting with it, I just added the bleed, fighting with my machine. So over here in my layers panel, now I've got this in a clip group. So what I did was I made the shape that I needed, and then I just added a clipping mask of just a regular image. That way I have my clip group, and instead of doing that for each and every design that I make, I do it this way. If it's a pattern, sometimes I have to do a like really specific design, but for the most part this will work. And let me show you here. So I'm going to go ahead and place inside this file. Let me get to my backgrounds here. Let's do let's do this Liberty Bell, for example. Okay, now that's obviously huge, so we're going to bring that down. Okay, now this one I've already made, this Liberty Bell, and see how I got all this excess around it. The reason why is for what I'm doing here. Now over here, my layers panel, the image is on the very top of the layer. So two things you can do. One, you can position it where you want it. Let's bring that underneath. Oh, let's go about here, see what happens. I don't like that. So what you could do is you could turn down your opacity. That way you kind of see what you're doing here. That's one good way to do it. Now if it's like a standard pattern, say like a camo pattern, this doing it this method ain't gonna matter as much. All right, but let's go ahead and turn our where'd it go? Oops, sorry. Okay, let's go ahead and turn our opacity back up so it's not light like that. Now next thing I want to do is I'm gonna grab that image and bring it down into the clipping group right above the background image. See how that just formed and fit in there really perfectly. I do have this "Don't Tread on Me" kind of already in there, just as a kind of a placeholder, I guess, to kind of see. I'll show you that one. That's one that I had for a previous job. Got the drop shadow on there. We're gonna get rid of that for now. Now this is ready to go. Now I can just save this as an EPS file. I got my cut contour, make sure that's on the top, and see how I got that locked? You'd want to make sure that's not locked. Now see how when you have your clipping group selected, it's got that border around everything. That's not going to matter as much, but let me show you something. If you go Object, Artboard, Fit to Artwork Bounds, okay, good. Sometimes that artboard will form itself around the entire clip group. I don't like that, but now over here in the layers panel, that carbon fiber background image that I do have in there, you can leave that in there, you can get rid of it, either way. Whatever's on top is actually going to be what's printed, see. And this is something I wanted to show you too. So oops, This black, that's my bleed, so that sits behind everything. So over in the layers panel, that's all the way down the bottom, but make sure that's not in the clipping group. Now if you're doing a job where you got several different, say you're doing a round sticker, for example, and you want to add different patterns in it, but you don't want to have to make that cut contour line each time. That's a good way to do it. So this is my template here, and now all I have to do is bring my image and put it in the clip group, and I'm good to go. Everything's sized up, don't got to worry about that. Let me show you. I'm gonna pull up the cut job that I have. Let's see, right here and right here, vinyl wrap orders. See, this is what I'm gonna print today. And all these I made with that clipping group, with the template that I have there. So saves a lot of time. When I first started doing this and doing these Magwells, I would do each one individually, and boy, does that clipping mask method help a lot more. So we're gonna send this over to the BN20 and get it cut and weeded, and I'll show you all that. But right now I'm filming at home, so I'm going to take this to the shop and we'll go from there. Okay, so this is the part where I load up the vinyl and run the vinyl wraps for the AR. So this is a roll of Prism Jet. You know, I cannot remember the part number, I'm sorry. Prism Jet, it's vinyl wrap. I bought a 54-inch roll and I had them cut it down to two 20-inch pieces and one 14-inch piece, I believe. Yeah, because the other two pieces are right here. Okay. You know, I did... Oh, somewhere I got the part number. Anyway, so I'm going to just load this up onto the roller here. For those of you that don't know, you can throw on smaller pieces. Let's see if I can position the camera so you kind of see. Okay. So we're just going to put this in here, like so. Bring the pinch roller over. Open it up, make sure your guards are all tight. Okay. See how I kind of push that over? Sometimes I forget to do that, but no biggie. Okay. It's in there good. Everything's lined up. Lock it up. It'll run its cycle, do the vinyl width check, run all the checks, and I'll switch. I will switch to screen record and get her going. Anyway, okay, so let's find our vinyl wrap order right here. So we'll load this up, and like I showed you in the last video, got everything ready. Now, right now the machine's set to 20-inch roll, and what I have in there is 14-inch. So in Illustrator, I made my artboard at 12.5. You want to minus that 1.5 inches for your crop marks. Okay, get medium width. See how it did that? Looks just like it does in Illustrator now. Okay, next I am going to quality. Now this one, high gloss PVC grade glue. That's what I use for vinyl wrap. Halftone dither. Now I've got some red in here. I'd like to... I've been doing, on color management, I've been doing True Rich Color for my reds and my blues, and they're turning out a lot brighter. Now I'm going to do that for this one, even though most of the designs are black and white. These Liberty Bell and 1776 ones have some blue. There is blue in the mix, but... Alright, moving on. I jump down to crop marks, make sure those are on there. I don't really hardly ever mess with these because just don't need to, the way I do things. Now if I was doing loading these individually and then nesting them, then I'd have more use for those these settings up here, but I don't. Okay, now I'm gonna do print only, but before you do anything, go to cut only. Make sure you got your ants around everything. I've done a whole job before where some of them are missing, or all of them are missing. You always want to check that first. I do. If you're real confident in your work, have at it, you know, but that's what I do. Okay. Okay, so we're ready to go. I'm gonna hit OK. Vinyl's all loaded as you saw in the video, and we'll run it. And here we go. Okay, so this is that job I made in the previous portion of the video. This has already been laminated and cut. I forgot my camera, so I had to hook my phone up. But so to demonstrate, I ran the exact same job. Basically, this is the exact same job here, but I just changed it up. So I got more of different stickers. Well, more of these ones. So we're gonna go ahead and do that one. Sorry if the camera's a little weird because I. All right. So with that last one I did a matte finish laminate. This one I'm going to do a gloss finish. So the laminate itself is already the length of the vinyl, so I don't really need to trim there. So we just need to make sure and trim enough so it will cover the entire piece. Alright, so next thing I'm going to get is my cutter. And just put that there, line it up best you can. Put that away. Okay, so I am going to take off just a tiny bit off the end here. It's freezing in my shop. Every year I go through the same crap. The heater doesn't work, and I got to fight with my landlord to get them to do anything about it. Every year. Every year. I hate it. I hate this building. Can't wait to move. Anyway, I digress. Okay. So normally when I laminate, I'll pull a piece back like that and then cut. What I've kind of been doing on some jobs is you just fold the paper under, get it where you need it, stick it to the vinyl, and then over here I'm gonna load it up. I want you guys to see this. Perfect. Now, what you can do is you grab your laminate. I'm sorry guys, this camera it's really zoomed in, so I'm trying not to. This is the part that sucks, trying to get this upper part of the laminate off. Okay, so pull this back. You see how that just popped right out? Sometimes it won't pop out, but you just grab it from under and it'll come out as you do it. Okay, so I'm just going to roll this in. And I got my rollers kind of tight. Just tight enough where it's not going to cause any bending, but it's good. Okay, there's that, good to go. I'm trying to see where the damn phone's recording it. Yeah, that's good to go, ready to cut. It did right here. Looks like the laminate creased a little bit. That's fine, I can work that out when it gets done. But yeah, we're good to go there. Now, I want to show you something. What I do, these crop marks, when I used to draw a line here, and then I would line that line up with the little cutting pad. What I do now is I put my fingers on the circles, and you kind of feel that dip the cutting mat goes into. That's where, and that's how you line up your vinyl, so it's lined up where it needs to be in the machine. Okay, so fingers on the pad. Sorry, I really wish I could show you guys this damn camera situation. Okay, so it's all good. Everything's loaded up, ready to go. I'm gonna switch to my screen record to do the VersaWorks portion. All right, so back in screen record. All we're gonna do here is cut that job. So it's laminated with the gloss laminate. So I don't mess with any of the settings here. I just go straight into cut controls, cut only, return to origin, cut pass 1. Now cutting force, that laminate's pretty thin. On that really heavy gloss, I cut it at about 80. For this one, I'm gonna do 75, hit OK, and we're good to go. Sorry. Job's finished cutting. Sorry, I was trying to figure out the damn angles on my camera. So we got two bolt jobs here that I've laminated and ran through the machine. So I'm gonna go ahead and just weave one of them. I'm having a really rough day here. Sorry, guys. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'll make sure. Okay. All right. So everything here is good. Now, one thing you could do if you want, you could trim these down. That way you're not pulling one giant piece of excess bleeding. Okay. Now this vinyl wrap tends to weed a lot easier than regular vinyl, and this matte laminate's really thin. It's like paper thin. Okay. There's those ones ready to install. Now these are a full set. Now with some designs like this one, it's got this piece here that comes out. So I probably should have went this way, which I'm gonna do now and show you. So you kind of hop it a little bit. See, and that excess little piece in there doesn't get stuck. Boom, see that? That's door number 2. Ready to go. And these are ready for install. Okay, so we'll do the same thing. We'll trim these down. And these are all the same shape, so you can kind of follow the same, kind of the same method, I guess. My machine's been really deciding when it does and doesn't want to cut things straight, so added a bleed to everything. That one's done. Go. Now the only thing I don't like about the matte laminate is makes everything feel like really thin paper. But you know, you apply a little bit of heat, put it on, goes on great, and it's not permanent, so it sticks really good, but it doesn't move around. But it's also removable. You can take it off, put it somewhere else if you want. But these are kind of made to fit that Magwell location. Those are good to go.